guys, I'm Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are doing another speed build, but before we get on to that, we've actually been lucky enough to get a sponsor for today's video, so thank you to Dreame. So Dreame is an online fiction platform with about 100,000 writers, 150,000 books, and about 2.5 million monthly users. They carry books in different genres like chick lit and fantasy, romance, there's suspense, thriller, horror as well, and LGBT+. I think my own favorite genre would probably be fantasy romance. I just have a thing for romance stories as it is, but I love it with a little bit of fantasy mixed into it, so yeah, that would definitely be my own favorite genre. Dreame is currently also running an online activity they call We Are Together, where people share pictures of themselves holding signs that say We Are Together. This is to show love and support for the healthcare workers that are currently working on the front line to take care of us, but also to share love and support for each other, because going through these times can be tough on people, and it's important to show that we're there for each other. In connection with this online activity, they're also sending special gift packs to female healthcare workers that are also the writers on their app. I'd like to encourage you all to join in on the activity just as I have. You can do that by sharing pictures on either Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and you can find more information about that at the top of the description because I've left a link there explaining a little bit more about this online activity. And Dreame has also been generous enough to do a giveaway, so 5 of you will be receiving 300 reading coins you can use to unlock chapters on the app, along with a special gift pack including healthcare equipment. You can join the giveaway by leaving a comment in the comment section down below, and of course remember to download the app, which is linked at the top of the description box, and it's available for both Android and iOS. So again, thank you to Dreame for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get on to the build. So today we are building a loft, and this one is for 2 Sims. Yes, 2 Sims. I kind of had an idea that they would be very, very good friends because they live quite close to each other. It's a tiny loft, but I've stuck to the tiny house tiles, or the tile count, so it's actually 64 tiles spread out on 2 floors. It's a very small, it's very, very small, this house, but that's why I kind of have a feeling that they must be very good friends because they live so close to each other. Like, the living room is small, the kitchen is small, they don't really have a dining area inside, so I kind of imagine them sitting at or on the couch and they watch TV while they have dinner or something, if the weather is not good enough, because they do have an outdoors eating area. But if it's raining and stuff, I probably wouldn't want to sit outside because that would suck. So I kind of imagine them to sit by the TV and watch TV while, you know, eating their dinner and stuff. But anyways, so that is what we're doing today. I really tried to turn this into a loft. It's very, very small. We have a limited amount of tiles, but I really tried. I'm looking forward to playing around with the ladders so much. Like, they're gonna come in so handy for lofts and tiny houses. And finally, I feel like you can actually get like the proper amount of tiles. Like, because staircases in this house, it took up either, was it 5 tiles, I think? I ended up putting some decor underneath the stairs, but still, they're still taking up a lot of tiles. So with ladders, they take up 1 or 2 technically. 2 if they're spread on 2 levels, like if you have, which they would, because otherwise you wouldn't be using ladders, right? So they're taking up 2 tiles. That's a big difference when you're building a tiny house. So I'm looking forward to playing around with those so much. I think it's gonna definitely open up a lot more opportunities to play or to build some more different looking tiny houses, some 2-story tiny houses, and also just lofts with ladders instead. And I'm really looking forward to that. So this will probably be one of the last lofts and also one of the last tiny houses that I'm doing without ladders, and I'm really looking forward to just getting my hands on them. But anyways, also today there is a stream. It's before I release this video because this video is up a little bit late. I've gone for a walk with my dad, his dog, and also my brother, so I didn't really have I wasn't home basically, and I haven't had a lot of time to finish up this video. So this video will be going up after the live stream is over. But if you watch the live stream, let me know what you think. How do you feel about the pack now? And are you looking forward to any of the features that they're showing off? I've actually no idea what they're gonna show off on stream. Like, I've literally no idea. So I'll be there. If I might be a little bit late to the stream. I don't know if I managed to finish this voiceover before it starts, because I have 18 minutes left and voiceovers tend to take me quite a long time because I keep messing up. So we'll see, but I'll be there at some point. I'm really looking forward to seeing everything they're showing off. So yeah. So I think I forgot to say, but this is built on a 20x15 in Newcrest. It's for 2 Sims. They have 1 bathroom that I forgot to do, but then I went back after doing all the exterior and I did the bathroom. So it is furnished and everything. I just have a very weird tendency to forget bathrooms sometimes. I don't really know what that's about. But it's furnished, it's playable, it's functional, everything works. Also, at some point here, I do, or not here, but on the 2nd floor, I turned the desk so it's up against the wall, but that's because I forgot that I actually put a terrace outside. So I turn it around later on and I fix it, I fix the clutter and everything, and I put in a door so you can actually get to the terrace. Because otherwise that terrace is just kind of pointless, like why would it be there? So that happened. So if you're annoyed by that, like don't worry, I do go back and fix it, it's all good. And what else do I have to say about the house? I think I was actually, like when I started building this house, I was set on making it a 1-story home, very, very small, like almost a micro home. And I wanted it to be super colorful and playful and, you know, all that stuff. But then I bulldozed it and I started building again, and because I was looking at 2 different pictures on Pinterest at the same time. One was this 2-story house that was clearly very small. I made it even smaller, by the way, so I was just inspired by the picture. And then the other one was this 1-story home. And I was planning on building the 1-story home and then just bringing a few elements from the other house onto that 1-story home. But then I started building the 2-story home, and that's why it turned into this little 2-story tiny house instead. But I was really set on just building something very small, 1-story, super colorful, very playful, you know, the whole thing. And then it turned into this instead, which is not super colorful. It's a 2-story. It took me ages, but I hope you guys like it anyways. Now I just have another idea for another tiny house in the future. Although in the future we'll probably be building a lot of eco houses first, so I'm gonna put that one aside and just wait until the time is right. And yeah, I don't know, it just kind of happened. Also, I hope you're okay with the sponsorship at the start of the video. I know that a lot of you guys just jump past them. I do too when I watch YouTube videos, by the way, but it's not something that I do a lot, definitely not. I've done like 3 sponsorships over the past 9 months or 10 months or so it's definitely not very often. And it's not something that I'm gonna be, how do you phrase that? Dabbling with? I don't really know. What's the word? I feel like either that's the word or it's something close to that. Anyways. But yeah, it's not something that I'm gonna be doing a lot, but I hope it was okay this time. So anyways, I have lots of fun videos coming in the near future, by the way, so stick around, stay tuned tomorrow, and I am excited to show you what I have. I also have a 50x50 shell that I haven't finished yet. I don't know when I'm gonna find the time to finish it, because it's just 50x50 seems like such a time commitment all of a sudden. I don't know if you guys, like, if you build a lot of tiny houses, you can do a lot of things. You can build for a lot of different households. You can try out a lot of different styles, even though I tend to use the tiny living stuff quite a lot, but you can. I've also done like eco, or not eco. Have I done an eco tiny house? Have I? I don't know, but I've done off the grid tiny houses at least. I've done trailers, bohemian houses, and you know, that sort of thing. So it's not like I'm only sticking to mid-century modern. I'm doing a little bit of everything, and that's what that's what I find funny about tiny houses. It's that you can try out all these different styles and build for the different households in less time, because a 50x50 is a very big time commitment, where a tiny house would maybe take like 1/5 of the time it would take to build a 50x50. So you get where I'm going with this? I'm a little bit nervous to start decorating the 50x50 because I know how long it'll take to finish it. And at some point throughout furnishing, sometimes I'll start feeling like Okay, I just kind of want to get this over with now, and I'm sure some of you guys can get that, like, can relate to that. But it's just such a time commitment. We'll see when it's finished. I want to finish it before Eco Lifestyle comes out, so it'll probably be like next week or the week. Wait, what date is it today? Oh, this out soon. What the heck? What happened with time? What? No, anyways, it'll probably be out sometime next week, maybe. We'll see. But it's a very big house. It's something that I haven't really built before. And I think it'll go really nicely with the house that I did on Tuesday. So anyways, we have moved on to the upstairs. This is their common area. So that's where I put I almost said the kitchen. That's downstairs. I don't know why I almost said the kitchen. Anyways, they have the entertainment area up here. I actually also gave them a console. So they have a TV, a pretty big TV, if I may say so, and also a console. I kind of, when I started decorating, wanted this house to be for 2 students, which is also why I ended up putting this pinboard here, or whatever you want to call that. But there's something, I get like a mature kind of feel to this house, but it also could be that this is just their style. Like, style is not necessarily age restricted, so they could still be students. I feel like their rooms are small enough for them to, like, if you, obviously this house does not look super cheap. Like, it doesn't. I'm aware that it doesn't look super cheap. But let's pretend like it's in a cheaper area. So it could be outside the city in the suburbs somewhere. Houses tend to be a little bit cheaper to rent if they're not in the center of the city. So it could be something like that. And there are 2 students sharing it. It's a very, very small house. It doesn't have a proper dining room. It has kind of everything upstairs except from this bedroom. It's just in one room, for example. So the rent could be cheap, especially if they're sharing it. So it could be a couple of best friends that are just renting this small house while they're being students, you know, stuff like that. Because I feel like their rooms could kind of come off as them being a little bit younger than young adults, or young, actually you're a student when you're a young adult in The Sims. What am I talking about? I mean like the young adult that you are after university. So I feel like their bedrooms are kind of that age group. So that's why I was thinking that they were students. But for the rest of the house, it's a little bit more mature. But then again, when you rent homes, the kitchen always comes with the home, so they didn't really choose that. So they basically just decorated their bedrooms and then also the living room slash the office, or whatever you want to call that. So yeah, I feel like this could be for students, but let me know what you think. It's also because the last tiny student's house that I did, like with that title, is very, very tiny. Like, it's super tiny. Whereas this one definitely does have a little bit more space. It's kind of on the bigger side of a tiny house. We're sticking to the tile count. Sorry, I just nudged my desk. I don't know if you could hear that. But we are sticking to the tiny count, or the tile count. But it feels like it's a little bit on the bigger side. I don't know if it's because it's a 2-story that it just seems a little bit bigger, because it didn't really cheat the tile count. I don't think it's cheating if it's outdoor space, because you're still, like, you're not gonna count the outdoors as your living room or your kitchen if you can't fit it inside the house. You get what I mean? Like, I see every tiny house as being sort of a challenge to fit everything necessary into the tiny house. That's the challenge when building them, right? So if you have everything except for, in this case, a dining area inside the house, you're good. So you can place lounge areas outside. Sure, you can put a grill area outside if you want to, or a gardening area or whatever, but they're not necessary areas. They're not necessary for gameplay. So these Sims in this house can still eat, like they can still sit down and eat by the TV. They just have to sit on the couch instead of at a dining table, but they do have that area that they can eat in. So it does, like, we're covered. Everything that you need for gameplay, you're covered. So the outdoors areas are always just extra areas, and that's why I don't count those tiles. Do you get what I mean? I might be thinking about it a little bit too much, like putting too much thought into it, or just caring about it too much. I don't really know, but I hope you understood. Or maybe I sucked at explaining it, which wouldn't surprise me. I don't feel like tiles that are outdoors, like outside the house, should count towards the tile count. It's the same if you put down a foundation and you want to raise the house up, every single tile on that foundation will still count towards the tile count. And I don't know, it's kind of limiting that way, but I also understand that that's how the system works, the whole tile count system, but we could also completely ignore it because I don't really play the game. Considering, I don't do gameplay. I think building is still playing the game, but I don't do gameplay, so for me, it doesn't really matter if the house is 64 tiles or 65, but I do know that some of you guys use the houses for gameplay purposes, so that's why I kind of want to stick to them, because you may want to use the benefits or whatever, but yeah, I could ignore them if I wanted to, but I don't. But I still feel like outdoor tiles shouldn't count. I don't know, might just be me. I've ranted about this for 5 minutes now, hoping that I could explain it for you guys, but anyways, in a way that you would understand, because I'm not sure that I'm very good at explaining. It's not that I think you guys don't, you wouldn't understand it, it's just that I don't think I'm very good at explaining things, so that's where I'm coming from. But anyways, we are working on the exterior again. I decided to kind of go for a bit of an exotic vibe. Yeah, kind of. Does that describe it? I don't really know. I've never really used the bamboo trees or the bamboo trees. Why did I forget what they're called? Anyways, but I've never used them before, so I decided to use them for this house. And I also put some grass on the roof just because I was a little bit inspired by eco lifestyle, if you will. So I'm looking forward to building a lot of greenhouses. Not actually green, except from if there's a lot of grass on them. Did that make sense? I don't really know. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that, and using solar panels and whatever else we saw in the trailer. It's gonna be awesome. But I still understand that it's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but I hope that some of you will be excited with me or alongside with me. I don't know how to say that sentence, but you get what I mean, hopefully. I don't really know. I feel like I've said a lot of things in this video that didn't make any sense. That's fine, it happens sometimes. English is not my first language, so sometimes I mess up. And I know that I don't have to remind you guys that it's not my first language. I'm fully aware, but I still end up doing it. I don't know, anyways. So we are almost at the end of this video, so I'm gonna wrap up this voiceover now. Also, I know that I asked earlier this week if you wanted to see a challenge or an apartment later this week, and then I ended up building a tiny house. It just sort of happened, but I hope you guys liked it anyways. So if you do like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I won. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I want to be silly, baby, dance the night away. I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free, and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. You can do better. Let me show you